Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we'll talk about Linux instance. That means we are going to cover how to create a Linux virtual machines, how to create a key pair, and how we can install the web server using the user data, and how we can connect it to using the SSM manager, and how we can create a how we can connect it to EC2 machine. So using the Putty or different way, for example, Git Bash, okay, or PowerShell, how we can able to connect it. So this is a today topic. Okay, so let me show you the diagram. So what we are going to cover it today. So I just taken the one of the example. So how we are going to create a virtual machines. Okay, this is a diagram. So if you are able to see this, this is a internet gateway. Okay, and this is a VPC. Under that there is a availability zone A and availability zone C, and there is already public subnet A and C. So what we are going to do, we are going to create an availability subnet A. Okay, I mean availability B, okay, C, D, like so. So right now we will take one example. Any availability zone, we can able to create it. Okay. So this is architecture diagram. So this is what we are going to cover it, guys. Okay. So let's back to the EC2 console. Okay. So what we can do it first. Okay. We are going to create a key pair first. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll come to left side. So there is a create a key pair. Okay, so I'll just create a key pair called production. Okay, production key pair. Okay, so there is a two option. So you can just generate the ppk directly from here. Okay, or if you wanted to first generate the pem, then you can able to convert it. So there is a two option. So make sure that just select pem, because this will be useful for windows and windows also. So if you are selected with ppk, so it will not support for windows machine. When you are launching, it will not take it. Okay, so by default just choose for pem. Okay, so I'm going to create a key pair here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, so just now we have created a key pair. Okay, so now what is the next? So we are going to launch a web server. Okay, now I'll be back to instance. I'll create a EC2 machine. So just select launch instance, and from here in the naming tag you can just mention it web server. Okay, so you can come down below. So there is a Amazon Linux. Okay, this is a AMI. Okay, so I'm selecting 2023. This is the latest version. Okay, and I'll be selecting architecture 64-bit. Okay, okay, next if you come to the instance type. Okay, so always you can use linux machine free tier only. Okay, it is not required too much cpu and too many memory also. Okay, so you can just use it by default free tier eligible. Okay, next I'll come to the key pair section. So from here I'm going to select productions. Okay, keep here. Okay, so if you come to the network section, so there is no a default vpc. So let's what we can do it, we can create a default vpc. So let me open the vpc section here. Okay, so if you come to left side, so I just recently deleted, so it will not take more much time to create a default vpc. So I'm going to create a default vpc. Okay, so our VPC is created, subnets by default it is taken, and route tables it is already there, and internet gateway it is already there. Okay, so now what we can do it, I'll be back to here. Okay, so just edit it, just select the VPC by default one, and you can select it, just refresh it. I think you'll get. So you can use it any subnet. Okay, so I'm going to select 1A. Okay, so public IP should be accessible because we wanted to access it from the outside. Okay, if you wanted to access it only within your network, you can just use private subnet. Okay, that means it should not connected with the internet gateway, it should be connected with the NAT gateway. Okay, So let me come to the uh, security group. Okay, so by default I'm going to select default. Okay, so let's check later so what all the ports it is enabled. Okay, so as of now we require 22 port and 80 port. So 22 port for to log into the server, that means we are able to SSH to the server. Okay, 80 port used for to access the URL. That means whatever we are going to hosting a URL, I mean the content. So we are going to access it from the browser. Okay. So now I'm going to create let me come to storage section. Okay. So storage section, no need to change anything. Okay. Then if you come to advanced details, okay. So there is an option called versions. Okay. So metadata accessible. Okay, so metadata accessible, it is selected by default. Okay, then if you come to the metadata version, you can just use it a version 2 only. Okay, or if you want v1 v2, that is also fine. Okay, so now I'll come to the user data section. Okay. Now user data section, I have some content. Okay. That means the shell script. Okay. So I'm going to paste it here. So this what it will do, it will install all the packages and it will start the web server. Okay. And we'll get the output. Okay. So that's it. Okay. Let me launch a instance. Okay. So once it is launched, okay, we'll go to the here. Let's wait for the pending session. Okay, in the meantime, I'll just go to the security group and we'll check that what all the ports are it is opened. Just open the security group. So inbound role, it is allowed for all. Okay, so no need to specifically, if you go to edit section, so no need to add the SSH. Okay, because we are already enabled protocol and port range. Okay, all the port range it is enabled. Okay, so what we can do it, we can just delete this one. We'll make it anywhere. Okay, let me delete this one. Let me make it all traffic. Just make it anywhere. Okay, just save the rule. Okay, and outbound always it should be enabled. Okay, the destination is 00. Okay. Okay, so let's come back to the console. Let me refresh. Let me see if we are getting the. Okay, so there is a public IP address. You can use this public IP also, or you can use a public DNS also. Just you can just open it here. Okay, so if the okay, let me make it HTTP because still it is not up. Let's see. Let me verify it. Yeah, I think it's inbound is allowed. Okay, let's wait for here. Yeah, so we are able to see it. Okay, that means we are able to access the browser. Okay, so this is a instance ID, this is a availability zone. Okay, so there is a current CPU utilization is 100. Okay, because we have taken only one CPU and one RAM. Okay, now it is back to 0. Okay, so this is how we have created a web server. Okay, so next what we need to do, we need to connect from SSM. That means there is a session manager here. Okay. So if you're able to see, we are getting this error. Okay. We are not able to log in it. Okay. So what we can do it, we'll go to the IAM section. We'll create a IAM role for the this EC2 machine so that we can attach to the EC2 machine. So now let's what we can do. We can create a role. Just create a role. Okay. Just select the EC2 here and go next and Here just type it. Okay, so this, I mean, this is a policy, we need to attach it. Okay, so select it, and next, and role name you can call it as a instance profile. Okay, so this is a policy details. Okay, it is allowed for the EC2. Okay, and just create a role. Yeah, so the role is created. So what we can do it, if you wanted to connect using system manager. Okay, here, so we need to attach this IAM role. Okay, just select the EC2 machine, go to the action, and come to the security, modify IAM role. So there is no IAM role attached. Just make a select your, which is the one you are created. Select it, update the role. Okay, so let's wait for some 2 minutes. Okay, or 1 minute also fine. Let's try to connect it. We are able to connect it or not. Okay, just go and connect. So still it is. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, so see now, let me back to here. Okay, so what we can do it, so if it is not taking, then we can just stop the server. Okay, so that it will take it automatically. Okay, sometime it takes some time. Okay, so that is why in the live environment you cannot do it like that. It should be take automatically. Sometime it takes time. Okay, so in the meantime, what we can do it, we can go to the Google, and you need to download it, Putty. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am just downloading Putty. Okay, you can just download it, anything is fine. Okay, or if you want only .exe file, you can just open it. Okay, so the putty is open. Okay, if you do not require, just use it. Okay, so now what we can do it, you need to convert the PEM to PPK. So how do we do it? Okay, so for that, okay, there is a SSH keygen. Okay, you can come down here, you can generate it like this also, or you can try to use a putty also. Let me show it you. So let's try to install it. Okay, so just install the putty here. Okay, and so there is an option called Putty, by default it will come. So I will make it as a desktop. Okay, you can just use it as such keygen for Windows also. Okay, let's try to open the Putty. Okay, so here there is a Puttygen, right? Just open it, Puttygen. Okay, so you need to convert it, right? Just go to file, sorry, conversions, import key pair. Okay, so we have downloaded this one. Okay, open it and save as a private key. So it will ask for the private key. Just save it in the downloads folder. Type it just ppk production or any name. Okay, that is your convenience. Okay, save it. Okay, now what we can do it, we can just go to the putty, and let me start the servers. So it takes time. Let me close all those things I don't require it. Okay, so let's see. So we are getting a IP address. So what we can do is you can just go to connect. So by default you are able to see, right? So we are able to connect it from the session manager. Okay, let me connect it. Okay, you are in shell. I mean you are in the terminal. You can just sudo hyphen I. So right now you are in the root. You can just check the total things, disk details or top command if you want to see CPU and memory. Okay, and can create a directory test. Okay, anything you can do it. Okay, this is the terminal. Okay, so now what I can do it, this is for the session manager, how we are connected. Okay, the same thing we need to connect it from the putty also, right? So there is an option called SSH client. Just copy this one. Okay, just copy the public DNS and come to here. Okay, from here you can just copy it. By default username is EC2. Just paste it here. Okay, and come to authentication here. So come to connections. Okay, so under that there is authentication. Okay, let me check. So if you have come to here, okay, connection under that is SSH. Under that there is authentication and credential, and one more is GSS AP. Okay, just select credential if you wanted to connect it. A public key is also a private key. You can use it. Okay, now what I'm going to use a private key. Okay, let me select it here. Okay, okay, now I'll just open it. Okay, now it should connect. Okay, so for me it is asking for the accept. Okay, I'm going to accept it. Okay, so if you're able to see, I'm able to log into the server. Okay, so df-h and o on my, so it shows who is the user. Okay, and which directory over there. Okay, you can just see it, or lsblk, it will just see the disk details and partition details. Okay, so this is how we can connect it to Putty also. Okay, and you can use a git bash also to log into the same. So if you are using a git bash, just copy this path and go to downloads. Okay, just go to downloads folder. Okay, just uh, open terminal. Okay, if you are using a terminal, just open the terminal. You can, if open it, just paste it, so you are able to connect it. Okay, so this is all about Linux creations, creating a key pair, creating a ppk, I mean converting. Okay, and installing web servers. Okay, system manager, how we can connect it, and there is a feature called EC2 instance connect. So from here also we can able to connect it. I think previous video uh, I have done the video for these two option. Okay, but there is a lot of way to log into the server. Okay, Linux machines. Okay, so thanks everyone. Please subscribe my channel so that I can do more videos. Okay, so do not forget to like, comment, shares, and subscribe, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye.